Now the words that I manifest, I manifest. Stick to the words that I manifest.
Centuries. And the word actually meant was a place where where they sent folks who broke the laws against the church. That's what the early definition was, and the early definition still is the same. You're breaking the laws against the church. That's what the word penitentiary means.
Right. Right.
I
thought penitentiary came from the word penance.
I don't know. When I looked up the etymology of the word, that's what I saw. I'm going to look it up while you continue to talk. So.
Well, and I'm not, I'm not studied on the prison system. I will just simply say this about the structure that they have in place. It seems to me that a basic need for human beings is to procreate. And so anytime you restrict that, you automatically then create a condition where if all a male has is other males around him 24/7, you've automatically created the condition for anti-sexuality behavior just by restricting female involvement in a male prison, and obviously vice versa, male involvement in a female penitentiary. So just that alone, to me, automatically creates a condition, that's ultimately going to encourage that kind of behavior. And so, I say that sex is a need. It's not a want. It's a need.
It's a need, right. Well, I just found it right here. It says, place of punishment for offenses against the church. And then it goes into, where the word is derived from or adjective, da, 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 da. And then it does have in parentheses or quotes, rather, of penance, what you just said. And it goes into meaning house of correction, which was later used in the late 1800s, originally an asylum for prostitutes. That's what the word house of correction was. So, anyway, go ahead. I thought that was very interesting, that word comes from.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think, there's a lot of evidence, really, if people would open their eyes and really look at it. The fact that a Bible is used in a court of law.
Right.
It's in there. People put their hands on that Bible and swear to tell the truth. Judges are sworn in with their hands on that Bible.
On the Bible. Mm-hmm.
I believe the president was sworn in with his hand on the Bible.
Yep, sure was. He has to uphold the laws that are in the Bible, and he's doing it. Or he's supposed to do it, but he's not. I'm gonna leave that part alone.
So when the Lord God Israel says that this is their chief law book, well, there's evidence that says that is the case. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but when Congress, I think, begins this session, doesn't it start with a Catholic priest? Uttering either some prayer or, I believe the Catholic priest says a prayer before the Congress starts. Now, if I'm incorrect, someone can correct me.
Someone mentioned something about a Masonic Bible or something. I don't know what that. Okay, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get on that because I made it crystal clear. I'm speaking of the AVB. I'm not speaking of anything else. Commonly called the King James Bible.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, those are distractions as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Okay. Now, back to the story about the or no, not the story, but about what you saw as far as Mr. Hart's work in that movie.
And once again, I can't say this enough. Black people, well, all people really, should be celebrating the fact that this man has done this work that no one else has done.
Right.
And has figured this out. Has figured out that, hey, we've been deceived. You know, we running around here thinking, oh, they stole it from Kemet. You got one group saying that. Oh, it's plagiarized. Oh, it's from this and it's from that and it's from, you know, Heru and ISIS. Oh, it's really just about this and it's just about that.
Right.
No. The Lord God Israel has broken down with Bible content and a dictionary what it is. And black people should be appalled by these findings. You mean to tell me we've been deceived by these people for all this time? You know what I mean? I mean, that should be our response. And thank you, you know what I mean, for sharing this. Thank you for bringing this to light.
Right.
See, God could have taken the position, hey, I'm not going to bring nothing to nobody. Now that I know it, I'm just going to go on about my own business. He could have done that. You know?
Right. Exactly.
He has put himself at risk for black people.
Exactly.
The Gentiles don't want us to know this. They don't want us to come into the truth of Bible content.
But that goes back to the Book of Eli again, where Denzel didn't know, the value of that book.
No, he didn't know what he had.
Which is why I think that, they made his character blind. It was a metaphor that he's blind to knowledge, and he still is.
Exactly. So here's what I would like. Here's what I'd like to see happen.
Blind to wisdom, rather.
Right, but here's what I'd like to see happen with those that are interested. If you are interested in solving some of our problems and not being considered the laughing stocks of the universe, if you are interested in the truth in regards to Bible content, you need to get behind this information and behind the Lord God Israel.
Right.
We need warriors. We need for people to make a decision that, hey, I'm going to also go out and share what I've learned. I'm going to go out and share what I've learned. And now that I know I've been deceived about this, it's probably some other things I've been deceived about. See, to me, because that's how big this is. Once you come into, man, if they've deceived you about God, surely there's something else they've deceived us about. Are they just, you know what I mean? Are they deceiving us about being our friends? Is that possible? Well, that's obvious. If these people are practicing this Passover law, these are not our friends. I shouldn't be having sex with them, for one. See, there are a lot of things we can start doing right now. Right now, that affects their system. Black people coming into I'm focusing on black people right now. Black people coming into the knowledge that we've been deceived about this Bible and that it's indeed a law book and that the Lord God Israel is God and we getting on that team right there, see, we can stand on that. That's the truth, and it's foundational. And in my opinion, that holds us, that becomes the glue that holds us together. Now we can start focusing on a lot of our other problems and straightening out those things as well. But I need for those that are interested in solving our problems, getting behind God and His work, praising Him for what He has done, because He's worthy of praise. He's worthy of praise. So we shouldn't have an issue with that at all. You know, and I believe ultimately that our people will do the right thing. I do believe that. So I really need for people, here's what I need for people to do right now, Tracy, that's listening, that's interested.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I need for them to send you an email. They know how to reach you. I need them to email you their name, their address, and their phone number. I need their contact information so that we can add them to a mailing list. I need them to go to the Lawmaster's website and at some point purchase the document for themselves, arm themselves with the knowledge in the law of God. They need to know which scriptures to refer to when dealing with the curse and when dealing with the Passover law, if someone asks them. They just need to at least know where they can go, or page they can show to someone, because it's not what you think it is. It's not Tommy Hart just writing things off that he has thought of. It's scriptures for the most part, and he's tying these scriptures in together for you. You know, he's taking Bible content that's fractured all throughout the Bible, right? And he's putting it together in a codified manner where you can follow it and see it crystal clear what it means. It's not a long book. It's not like, it's not going to take you that long to go through it. And when you finish, you're going to go, wow.
Right. Well, like I said, you got me, because when I first started talking with you about this, I didn't understand what was going on, and I was, in agreement with what I had learned previously as far as, the metaphors in the Bible and what I learned on the Zygist. I think I'm pronouncing it right. That one movie by the Zygist and et cetera, and about the astrology that's in the book, and the stolen Mary versus Isis, or not Isis, the Kemet science names, Osar and Alfet, and et cetera, Heru. And I understood all of that. But that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about there are laws in the Bible, placed in the Bible on purpose, in code, that tells white people what to do with you. And we don't see, I've never seen nobody break this down. Nobody. I have not learned. The Israelites, the Muslims, or the Christians, nobody. And I think that's one thing that some people are having a hard time understanding as far as the law, what we mean by the law that's in the Bible. So I didn't get it at first myself. So I'm like, what are you talking about law? He's talking about laws that say, I have to be me right now. I've been trying to be on my best behavior for this show, but he's saying, he's saying that there are laws in the Bible that say kick black people in the ass, and it's in code, and only white folks know how to read it. Okay, that's what he's saying. Okay. Ooh, breaking. I was about to go half highs.
Right. So my thing is, when you're tired of getting kicked in the ass, send an email.
Exactly. I just put my
Well, you're
email
tired
address
of it.
in the chat room. In the chat room.
Right, let's start right there, because what we need to start creating is small study groups. You know, people need to start creating small study groups in their home or wherever they, wherever they're at. And we need to at least start talking about the work, going over the work, talking about it, discussing it, because we've all been traumatized by this, first and foremost.
Exactly.
It's a traumatic thing to discover I've been lied to all my life. That's traumatic for a lot of people. You're going to need some support. But you know what I mean? So we're going to have to create that structure. See, and it can start with Tommy Hart Tuesdays, where 2 or 3 people get together wherever they're at, and they call into the broadcast, and we kind of discuss it.
Right.
And then from there, we can go into discussing racism, white supremacy, all we want. I don't have an issue with that. But we gotta just start building small little nucleus or small little cell groups of people that are just studying his work and understanding what happened to us, so that we can move on from there. So I really need, for those people that are interested, hey, there's enough evidence to see we've been at war with these people for a long time. But because they're so great at deceiving you, you think that's not the case.
Yep.
We think when we see a black person driving a nice car, living in a big house, that
they are not affected by it.
Right, that they're not affected by it.
That he's made it, so therefore he's not part of the the problem. And that's another thing I've been seeing a lot. I mean, we do need wealth and money, but that's not the only that's not where it stops. You have
we first need our minds.
Yeah.
If we don't have that, we don't have nothing. If we can't get our minds back, we don't have anything.
Yep.
Because I suspect most of those black people walking around here with all that wealth think Jesus died for their sins. And that someday they're going to die and go to heaven. Meanwhile, we are catching hell right here on earth every day.
Right.
So right now, especially to those black males that are listening to this broadcast, that have any kind of self-esteem, that have anything even remotely close to what we once had before our conquest and invasion. It's not enough to me to just want to have a big house and a big car. What is that? When the group you are associated with or been tied to is suffering all on this planet.
Plantation comforts.
Right.
Comforts where you can
on the plantation.
Yep, escapism.
We are better than that. All I'm saying is we are better than that. I know we are. But I need for us, black males, really us, to begin to take a stand. I'm going to start protecting our women. I'm going to stop calling our women B's and H's.
Right.
I'm going to stop using that N word. I realize now that since I have been deceived, everything that works against me is what they expect me to do. I'm going to stop doing all the things they want me to do. They want you smoking weed, drinking the alcohol, putting your women down, and then sending your children to them to get educated. They want you to continue to do that. Or take their good jobs after going to their universities and put your own people down. They want you to do that. But I can tell you right now, they don't want you to do what I'm doing right now.
No.
They don't want you to do what Tommy Hart's doing right now.
No, not at all.
See, I'd rather die standing than living on my knees. And it is time for black males in particular to stand. Why do you need for someone else, as Tommy Hart said, it sounds good, someone dying for your sins, someone taking responsibility for you. Sounds great. Let you off the hook. Black man, take responsibility. Take responsibility for our condition. Take responsibility for the fact that, unfortunately, we lost. Somebody fell asleep on the wall, and we lost. Somebody didn't see these people coming, and we lost. But we are down and not out.
Right.
And we are not going to come out of this thing with leaders. We need leaders. I don't care what anybody says. We need leaders.
Yeah.
Leaders that are committed to black people. And that doesn't mean you putting down another group.
Right.
Your group needs the most help. You black, your group needs the most help. Nobody group needs as much help as ours. Anything else you're doing makes no sense to me. If you're so defeated, you just want to just jump on ship with, can't we all get along and all this other. To me, that suggests mental illness right there, that you can't see the truth of the matter, understand the truth, and decide, hey, I'm going to start where I'm at. I'm going to start with small things. Let me start being respectful towards my own people. Let me stop putting my own people down. Because I realize now they've been deceived by Bible content. And, boy, we've been deceived about that. We've probably been deceived about a lot of other things.
These are the words that I manifest. I manifest. Stick to the words that I manifest.